Better late than never. Hey, it's Noob Reviews here, and we're going to review chapter 914 of One Piece today. And let's cover the cover page, and we'll jump right into the chapter. Thanks for being patient, the viewers that I do have right now, and for those of you not. I'm late, so you've probably seen other dudes' reviews, but hey, I had stuff going on yesterday. Went to a concert with some buddies I'd planned out a couple weeks ago, so I had to take it off. Bummed I missed the chapter. One of the few times though that I was hoping for a break then instead of last week. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah, we get chapter cover this week, and I thought the proclaimed Straw Hat Grand Fleet would be finished up here, but no. This week we actually get to see Bellamy, who I did not think would be showing up in the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, and he's landed on. It's called the Dry Goods Town, and apparently a bunch of stuff hanging up to dry. Must get a lot of wind. Got windmills everywhere also. Yeah, it's cool. He's not really an official member of the Straw Hat crew, hence the side story aspect, I think. But he is allied with Luffy to some degree. They have a lot of history together and they respect one another, and I expect to see Bellamy at some point again in the story, but we'll find out when. Who knows? You know, I'd imagine a lot closer to like more of a final battle type thing, kind of like what was it, the War of the Great, you know. But anyways, so yeah, we gotta see Bellamy and they're here. I'm interested to see where his side story goes. I've heard people say that this could be like Shanks's island, not Shanks, but an ally aligned with the Red Hair Pirates. But I'm not sure about that yet, unless there's a flag in there. I didn't see that is there Jolly Roger. But anyways, it's chapter cover, and so the chapter's called Chapter 914, Okobore, the Town of Leftovers. So we're gonna probably learn a bunch more about Okobore. So the chapter starts off with, we get a little panel to view the actual city, just kind of run down city. There's a flag hanging of the Kozuki clan. And this is Tama, who was sick, is now yeah, she's feeling better. As we can see here, she's stretching and she's like, I can't thank you enough. Super grateful to everyone who saved her. She's really jolly and happy and upbeat right now. And it's kind of hilarious because Zoro's like, that was quick. So freaking out in the back. But Zoro's quite known for getting like his stomach cut open, taking a nap and getting up and saying I'm better, you know, and everyone just kind of freaks out like that was kind of quick. Weird seeing it from Zoro. But yeah, apparently she recovered pretty quickly. I think also Tama has that pride, that honorable nature that we talked about in Wano. But she's probably doing decent. And they talk about the Jigen grass, which is, I guess, extraordinarily like powerful. Like it helps them recover with at least with these symptoms really well. But Otsuru goes on to explain, you know, doesn't get rid of all the poison, you know, still has some of that poison in her body, which I don't know if she just works it out or if it kind of just lingers existing. So yeah, they tell Otama not to drink the water again. Tama's like, yeah, I won't do anything stupid like that again. And then immediately after, she's like, her stomach growls, and then she goes, you know, I need the water. She's like, this is a warrior's shame. You know, she's letting her body domineer how she wants to behave, and to her, she finds that like shameful. That, you know, she shouldn't like show weakness to that degree. She's so hungry. But they, you know, Otsuru starts screaming at her. She's like, you're not going. You're not drinking that water. And she's like, we're not going through this predicament again. But we get to learn something really cool about Okiku also. So we saw Okiku, we were introduced to her at the end of the last chapter. But Okiku is actually like 3 meters tall or something. She's a pretty tall lady. And even next to Zoro, maybe I wouldn't say Zoro's like a huge guy, but he's taller than Luffy. Luffy's, I think, is only like 5'8" or something like that. and she just like towers over him. She's wrapping him up and makes Zoro look like a little boy. And so she's giving him first aid. Zoro's going on about, "Oh, you're a big woman." And Luffy's like, "Oh, Big Mama's way bigger. That's a big lady." And they're all kind of like talking to each other, but none of them are paying attention to what each other's saying. So it's Okiku just goes, "Just before you got here, there was a sumo wrestler harassing me, and you came right at the just at the right time." And so that makes sense why the sumo was like definitely in there. She's a big lady and handsome, a beautiful lady at that. But yeah, we get to see a weird quirk from Okiku that we have yet to see from anyone else. But apparently, samurai traditionally would use seshai, I think is how you would pronounce it, before their introduction, which is like "I am," and they find it really weird. I don't think females would be doing that in like traditional Japan at all, introducing himself. And they all find it weird. Like everyone's like, "I am." Like what's that? But apparently, yeah, samurais used to use that term commonly. But she tends to talk to her, say her name beforehand, or say who she is beforehand. Like I guess kind of how I would see it applying is like samurais have all built up names, and so it's kind of like a way to bait in people or something like that, or talk about like the nature of your swordsmanship, I guess. To so if people recognize you or know you, you're upfront about like, "I am so and so," but I don't really understand. It's just apparently improper for the most part. But yeah, Otsuru's quite the lovely lady who apparently is very improper with her introduction. So Luffy hears someone screaming like, "No, no, no, I can't," and we get this image of Otama just sitting there. She's pushing back the plate the owner's giving her. Otsuru's trying to give her food, and Otama feels embarrassed. It's again that honorable nature within her that she shouldn't be accepting handouts. She should be able to fend for her own as a warrior, and she's already gotten the medicine and had people help her so much already. Embarrassed to like even take porridge. And Otsuru's just being sweet. She's like, "No, no, take it, honey. Don't worry about the money. You need the food." So Tama's just not having it. She's like, I can't since you and Okiku, gave me all this stuff. You've already given me medicine, taking care of me. She's like, "You guys probably haven't eaten in weeks. You're probably hungrier than I am. And I'll accept it." And she's like, "I'll pay you back for the medicine. I'll do whatever it takes." This is an 8-year-old little girl. She's got super strong morals and honor code. Like the degree she's holding her to is that of an adult, and most adults don't hold themselves at center, at least in our world. A lot of them take handouts very easily, and she's so embarrassed by the fact that she has to rely on people so much. But Otsuru's had enough of it. She's like, "You're gonna take the damn food, you're gonna eat it, or I'm gonna pour it on the side of the road. And you're just gonna let it go to waste. You're gonna waste in a town like this, in a world like this, where everyone's starving and someone's trying to feed you, and you're just gonna mistreat their kindness." And yeah, she gets this crazy angry face, and Otama's just like, "I'm sorry." And Okiku's in the background like, "Just accept it. Just Otsuru isn't the type of person to take no for an answer." Which yeah, she seems like a very intense, lovely at times, and ugly at times, geisha. But hey, she's Kozuki, so we'll look out for her. But yeah, so Otama takes the food, begrudgingly at that, and she sits down with Luffy and Zoro, and they're sitting there watching, and Zoro's like, "How long are you gonna stare at that?" And just kind of confused. And Luffy, I don't know what his expression is. He looks like he wants it, like just like staring at the food with a question mark. He doesn't get what's going on, what she's waiting for. Luffy sees food, he eats it. You don't wait. He's not doing grace. He's not doing any of that. You put food in front of him, he's eating it. And not that he's gonna eat her food. Oh man, God damn it! I just realized this was down here, so I don't know how good the audio is gonna be. So let's stop this recording. Alright, well, here's the hoping the audio's a bit better. It was down on my side here. I didn't realize I'd set it down there last night. But yeah, so yeah, Zoro and Luffy are trying to get Otama to eat the food. They're kind of just watching her. And Luffy's, like, he's stoked for her. After eating her millet, her rice millet, which I guess she only gets every now and then, and once a year on her birthday, actually. The rest is just, like, rice gruel or something. Doesn't get a lot of good food. Or, like, anything outside of, like, just enough to live. But Luffy's stoked for her. He's like, good for you, Otama. It's your birthday, after all. And Zoro's like, oh, is it so? And I like this little panel. It's probably one of my favorite panels of the whole chapter. Because how brotherly and nice Luffy and Zoro seem. Like, they're meatheads. They're fighters. But they understand that it's hard to be a child, especially growing up in a world like this. And they want to be happy for her and want to help her have a better life. Even though they're pirates. I mean, they're good pirates. In One Piece, I mean, the Straw Hats are about as, like, good as you get. I read Romance Dawn, one of the other variations. They talk about it's like a peacekeeper. It's something like that. It's like a peace something. We'll leave it at that. Peace something. But the peace something is like essentially a pirate who's acting as a criminal, but more as a vigilante. They're just essentially traveling at their own risk. They're helping people in the ways they can and adventuring. More or less like that. That's how Shanks is kind of introduced in Romance Dawn. But that's how the Straw Hats pretty much are. I mean, they just use the term pirate because there's no reason to differentiate. There's good pirates and a lot of bad pirates. And there's adventurers. That's about as differentiated as it gets. But the thing about adventurers is they usually can be, like, hired by, like, governments or, set up to where they're legally traveling. They're not causing as many issues. They don't really butt heads with the world government. But pirates do. Pirates literally get no support from the government for their choice of living. But anyways, all that aside, I really like the scene. I just think it's a pleasant scene to see them helping this girl, and just a nice way they're talking to her. I really liked it. They're really excited for her to, be better and have somewhat of a decent birthday. She almost died, but she eats the food and she gets all, like, wide-eyed, and she's kind of just freaking out over it. And oh man, no, I just lost where I was. Yeah, she's freaking out over it. And she just starts crying, and it's such a sad scene. Not particularly this panel, but the next one. She's just crying. She's like, it's so good. She just can't even contain her joy. She's never eaten anything this good. And we get to see that, because Luffy's just like, is this your first time eating that? He's shocked. Like, this to him just is standard. Like, Sanji will toss you up some real good food. Zoro, I love, like I said, this whole scene, this part of this chapter is so nice. They're, like, very friendly and, like, just genuinely happy for Otama. I don't think Otama has a lot of people around her who do that besides, Hitetsu and Otsuru and Okiku. They kind of take care of her. They're kind of nurturing her, parenting her in a way. In absence, it seems like, of her actual parents. Unless Utetsu is, for some reason, he's not saying, but I don't think so. But she goes, yes, this is her first time having it. And it's got mochi in it, She's all excited. She's like, it's such a luxurious meal. I'm so grateful. And I'm pretty sure this is just kind of like a more standard meal. But to them, people living in leftovers or Okobore, they don't get this stuff. They're lucky to scrape by with what they can get. And she's just going on, and she's like, I'm so grateful. She's like, this is the best birthday ever. I feel so bad for Master, but mochi mochi. Mochi 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 mochi. And Luffy's kind of like, ugh. I think that's because I'm sure Homeboy's a little sick of mochi at this point. I mean, he loves that mochi bastard, Katakuri. A boy Charles Barkley. God damn it, King. I'm sorry, man. I butchered your nickname for Charles Katakuri Barkley or something like that. Charlotte Charles Katakuri Barkley, something like that is how he says it. But I love that. It's fun. But no, Katakuri, hands down, one of the best villains and one of the best teachers for Luffy, other than Rayleigh. Luffy still probably don't like mochi. He said he didn't like mochi to begin with. That's one of the few foods he don't like at all. But he's like, you can pop mochi out of your off of your cheek, can't you? And she's like, yeah, but it doesn't stop the hunger. Yeah, I mean, it's not like, even, I think it's more the ability it does. It kind of helps her tame people, and from what I see, there's like a transference of trust from her to like animals at least. So like Big Baboon dude, a crazy sword swinging baboon, became an ally to them, or the Kamenu. We don't know if it works on people, but her devil fruit definitely seems to manipulate a certain aspect of life. But I don't think there's like a benefit. Like she could just keep popping off mochi and just like, why is everyone hungry? It's not even an issue. Probably similar to Streusen from the Whole Cake Island arc. The head chef who he can turn anything into food. He turn my microphone into food. If you ate it, it wouldn't taste good. It wouldn't taste like, say, turned into cake. It wouldn't taste like cake. It would just taste like crap. Like, it would probably taste like a microphone that I could cut for some reason and eat like a cake. But it would still have all the same taste as a microphone. So I doubt there's any nutrition coming out of the mochi. It's just, you know, maybe it fills her stomach, but that's it. It's not gonna give her the nutrition she needs as a young kid. And she's just so delighted though. And Otsuru's just kind of crying in the background. And Otama just cries and says, "This is the best day of my life." And it's really a heart-wrenching thing to be like, she had one bowl of food and her life has never been that amazing up until now. I think maybe the day with Ace. She seemed like really fond of Ace. The week with Ace, that was probably a great time in her life. But since then, she's never had anything like this. And so yeah, everyone's kind of just sitting and thinking about it. And Otama passes out. She's just exhausted. She's had a great meal. Fills her stomach up for the first time in days. And they Otsuru and Luffy and Zoro sit and talk. And she explains that Tama's not the only child like this in the current country of Wano. Like, a lot of people are dealing with Kaido and Orochi's dealings, and the fact that they're polluting the whole country, and that they're holding a monopoly over the quality food that's grown, and nobody can grow food anywhere else because it's poison. So literally they're all being strong-armed, and there's a lot of kids and people just suffering in general all over. And Luffy's pissed. He's like, it's crazy that a little girl would have to go hungry for so long, you know? She's like, when she gets older, I mean, she can eat the poisoned food. And Otsuru's like, no, she can't eat the poisoned food. Even when you're old, nobody should be eating the poisoned animals. And Luffy, hey man, not everyone has fought Magellan, gotten a bunch of injections from Ivankov, and somehow built an antibody system in your body that is pretty much immune to all forms of venom, other than that one fish for some reason, severely poisonous. But they talk about how, you know, the rivers and mountains and all this. Luffy's like, you know, it should have food. I mean, it's a very fertile area. And Otsuru's like, you're right. That would be the case if certain individuals weren't contaminating everything. All of our natural resources are being ruined right now. And so Otsuru asks, you know, she's like, you know, you guys are quite strange. And she's like, how rude, you know, what are your names? And Zoro's like, I'm Zoro Joro. and he's a Ronin. And Luffy's like, I'm Monkey D. Zoro's like, he's Luffy Taro. And he's like, yeah, that's right, I'm Luffy Taro. Gozaru. I think it's Gozaru. I think I figured out it's Gozaimasu is like the new version, the way they use in Japan currently. I think Gozaru is the proper way, like it's like a ending thank you or something like that to your sentence. And Otsuru just kind of laughs at him. She's like, foreigners. People are strange. She thinks they're cute and very nice. And she explains, you guys stand out. You definitely stick out like sore thumbs, but you managed to get in here. And don't worry, people of this area, the leftovers, they won't rat you out. And Luffy's like, how'd she know this? I thought we were doing great. I got the top knot, I got the sword, kimonos. I mean, call me Luffy Taro. And yeah, Luffy, you're the worst actor in the world. You couldn't act anything but yourself. But she's goes on to explain she's also new to this town, and that her and Okiku have only been here for about a month. So Zoro's like, all right, well, you said this place is the town of leftovers. Like, what's that name suggest? And she's like, it's what we are, we're leftovers from the town where the government officials currently reside. So they're outside of another town that has been taken over by Orochi and Kaido. And they kicked out all the people who weren't aligning with them. So a lot of people ended up there, and they essentially get the scraps and leftovers of what that town, the government official town, has. So they're just surviving on the outskirts here, scraping by with what they can get. All the people kind of just work together to get through the day. And Luffy asks, he's like, Tama was... And Luffy asks, he's like, Tama told me there's a place that the food isn't poisoned. And so Otsuru points, she's like, yeah, you see that mountain up there with no smoke rising above it? She's like, there used to be a castle on top of it. It was visible from here. And apparently it was Odin Castle. It was Odin's, Momonosuke's father, the previous daimyo of Wano. And I guess that was over 20 years ago when the castle was there. Which, like, I don't get the time frame. Like, either Momonosuke has another weird thing going on with him besides his devil fruit and being the son of a daimyo, essentially not a prince, but I guess it's kind of like a prince. He's a daimyo to be if Orochi wasn't in place of him. And he talks, Momonosuke talks about remembering seeing Roger and meeting a bunch of different pirates like Shanks and stuff like that on their ship. And Momonosuke looks like he's like 8, I just thought of something. What if Momonosuke somehow is Odin? I don't know. There's not enough thoughts on that because there's a bunch of stuff Momonosuke could do if he was Odin and if members of the Kozuki clan knew. But anyways, and yeah, Momonosuke existed, but unless either way, there's too much garble. But they say that the castle that was over 20 years ago when that castle was residing and Odin was running these things. Makes you wonder if Momonosuke really did meet Roger, and if Momonosuke is for some reason older than we think he is. I don't know. The time frames are getting weird on this, especially with the comments that Momonosuke has made. And I thought Odin had only died a couple years ago in the One Piece world. Maybe a year before the War of the Best. Who knows? But they're saying like 20 years ago, so either there was a power shift or something, but we'll move along. I don't have enough information to really construe much more. And so Zoro's kind of like, Odin Castle. Luffy's trying to remember, because we're obviously talking about Odin. He's like, I swear I've heard that name before. It's the same how he felt with the Kitetsu. He's like, I swear I've heard these things. Luffy, you need something besides descriptive terms. Like, oh, it's Pineapple Head. Oh yeah, I remember that, dude. You need to get names down, man, to some degree. But she goes on to explain, she's like, so over 20 years ago, the Kozuki clan ruled over all of Wano, as they've been doing for a long time. So the Kozuki clan's been the head daimos for years and years and years, probably even back all the way to the blank period, because the Kozuki clan did do the carvings. We don't know if they were in power over Wano at that time. But at the base of the mountain, there was a huge farm, and Lord Odin had built it so all the residents of Kuri could eat all that food. You know, everyone would share in the food and the wealth. It kind of like Dressrosa or Alabasta, you know. He wasn't a benevolent leader or anything. He was just trying to help people all live in peace and harmony. But she says it's nothing like that anymore. Orochi and all his men have, you know, ruined it. It used to be a paradise, and now it's nothing but, you know, a wasteland or landfill. And Luffy asks, does that food have any poison in it? And Tsuru's like, you know, they have clean water, safe ingredients, everything, you know. But Shogun Orochi owns the farm, so they don't get a share in any of that. He's selfish. He only uses it for his men and the people who are moving to his whims. So she says apparently behind that Torii, all the government officials reside there pretty much. The people that were from there are no longer needed, and so they survive by buying off, like, essentially the rotting and unwanted goods that they grow there. And so that's how they became known as the town of leftovers. Whatever that town doesn't want, they're willing to sell it to the leftovers, the Okobore town. And she says, you know, it's fine, at least we can survive here. And no sooner does she say that, and they fire an arrow at her. And it's obviously because she's talking smack about the current leaders of the country. We get introduced to one of our first new gifters, one of the few gifters we've seen yet on Wano. We've seen like 3 or 4 gifters on Zo, but keep going. On Zo, but we haven't seen this guy, and this is the first, I think, on Wano. We've seen Hawkins' men. There may have been a gifter in there, but they all got knocked out like quick fodder. But this is apparently Batman. Batman. But yeah, he's flying partial zone, because they don't get all the abilities of his own, since they get like a artificial devil fruit, I believe. I don't think it's as strong, but he's got these bad abilities, wings on his ass, and apparently his hearing is supremely increased. Yeah, it goes on to tell Zoro about, you know, if I can get it to come up, it's like my hearing 6 times that of a normal human. And he's telling him, he's like, we heard you talking crap on the Shogun. He's like, friggin' woman. And so yeah, he's a smile user with the bat artificial devil fruit. I don't know how that's gonna work. Like, and there still be a bat devil fruit and an artificial, because it seems like you just make multiple zones, or else, you know, Kaido has like for 500 zone users, things are gonna start kind of covering each other. I know there's variations of all animals, there's millions, but Oda, I don't think it's gonna go to that same degree. Like, there's gonna be divisions, but either way, who knows? Actually, I take it back. Oda might go that far. Oda's crazy, man. Zoro's kind of pissed off about it. He's like, Here's from that far away is nice and all. He's like, but was that really a reason to kill someone? He's like, if that hit her, it would have killed her. He's like, what the hell's wrong with you? Fine, weird. Zoro's probably killed plenty of people. It didn't necessarily need to die that bad, you know. He could have just kicked their ass. She's like, oh, Tsuru, thank God you're safe, you know. And the Batman, I almost said Man-Bat. Batman said, he's like, she just kept her mouth shut and kept quiet. You know, I wouldn't have had to do a thing. But Master Orochi wouldn't absolutely not tolerate any of this rebellious talk. So Orochi is running this country like a communist country. I mean, it was already being run kind of like that beforehand. Odin wanted to open borders and stuff. But that's also something in the time frame, because now the time frame is starting to get weird to me, because it's like, if there's 20 years since the Odin clan was running Wano, maybe they just got kicked out of running Wano. Maybe Orochi took over in that time period, but wasn't pursuing Odin to the same degree. Oh, it might have happened when Odin went with Roger. When Odin went with Roger, new Daimyo may have been in place. Maybe Orochi. Then Orochi set up borders around, you know, Wano, and started closing things off and running things so he could benefit the most from it. So he could be in complete control. But anyways, they'll take out anyone who talks bad on him. Anyone at all that's spreading rebellion. Try to snuff it out. And Batman's like, you'd all best be careful. He's like, we're currently hunting down thieves. And he's like, a theft occurred on a farm a few weeks ago. He's like, you wouldn't happen to have been you Ronins. And obviously not Luffy. Luffy wasn't there. The theft definitely could have been Zoro. Zoro's been roaming around for about a week, and he's already a wanted man. So he could have stolen some food to eat or some liquor. He also has been running raids on different members of Kaido's clan to get food and booze. And, you know, the bat starts freaking out. He's like, who are you? You blocked my arrow. You know, you shouldn't be messing with things that don't matter to you. And he's kind of like, wait, you're the one-eyed Ronin? He's like, I saw the sketches of you. And right then, things took a sharp twist. You hear Tama screaming. She's like, wah, who are you? And Luffy just freaks out. He's screaming Tama, and he's like, his eyes get all wide. He's super freaked out already. I think he already has a pretty close bond to Tama because of their connection to Ace and how much he loves Ace, and he probably wants to fulfill Tama's dreams to some degree in memory of Ace. But yeah, he's super worried about her, and on top of that, he knows she's a good-natured girl. And on top of that, he knows she's a good-natured girl, you know. But what happened is Gazelle Man. Oh yeah. Apparently, these guys are getting a lot of, like, superhero seeming names. Not that Gazelle Man is, but, like, they all seem like they have superhero names. And then, like, these weird suits. And this guy's, I believe, in Okama. I mean, he's rocking the pantyhose. And he's running quite fast. He's kind of similar to, oh, man, what's that dude's name? He's like half fishman, half human. He was in Dressrosa. I gotta look up Don Quixote Pirates because I can't remember this dude's name. But yeah, he dressed kind of like an Okama. Oh, that's not the crew. Whoops. Let me find it. There we go. Dellinger was his name. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Dellinger kind of reminds me of that. Super fast, got the Okama look. Instead of heels, he's got hooves, but superhero aesthetic. Like, they all wear, like, these masks and have these strange attitudes. I don't know. That's just the vibe I'm getting. But Thomas screaming like, "Big bro, save me!" And this dude's name is like Udaten or Idaten, Idaten, Idaten. I don't know. And he's like, I can move at speeds of over 200 kilometers an hour. And she's just screaming, I got kidnapped, you know. And then bam, not even messing around, Okiku grabs the sword, jumps on the Kamenu, and just starts chasing after her. She's like telling the Kamenu, let me ride, and the Kamenu don't care. All he cares about is Tama. He wants to say her. He'll let anyone on at this point. They go chasing after her, and Zoro's kind of freaking out. He's like, hey, that girl just grabbed a sword, and she's like, I heard that she knows how to use one, but I've never seen it in person, Otsuru says, and Luffy's like, I'm coming with, and take me with you, dog. And take me with you, dog. But Zoro's like, yeah, me too. Which never see Zoro grab onto one of Luffy's like gum like not really what was it looking for? Not gum rocket. It's kind of like his one arm thing. He like grabs a bunch of people and just slings them onto a ship. But he grabs onto Luffy, and Otsuru's freaking out. She's like, his arm just stretched. What the hell's up with that? And Okiku's kind of surprised. She's like, Luffy Taro, Zoro, you know, Zoro. Didn't expect him to come. And Zoro's like, why'd they take the kid? And Okiku doesn't really know. They just know we're gonna have to get her back. And Zoro kind of makes a good assumption, because the bad guy is still messing with him. He's firing tons of arrows at the Kamenu, trying to keep them from chasing. I think he actually hits the Kamenu. And Zoro's like, it's almost like they planned out just kidnapping Otama. Which, Zoro, I think you'd be spot on. They didn't even seem to have a real interest in you guys. They were kind of surprised you were there in general. Seems like they were running this raid to kidnap her beforehand. But she's like, we should be heading towards the government official district. So the district that was on the other side of that Tori. She explains kind of the breakdown of who's all hanging out there and what's going to be going on. She's like, there's at least 3 headliners there that they live there. And then Hawkins, it's Hawkins, Hold'em, and Speed. So we haven't seen Hold'em or Speed. I would have thought Speed would be Gazelle Man, but his name's Gazelle Man. And she says there's also about 30 people that have gained gifter abilities from artificial devil fruits. And Zoro's kind of like a notebook. He's like, what the hell? Who are you? How do you know all this stuff? And she breaks it down for them. We learn 100%. I mean, I referenced it kind of earlier, but yeah. She's a samurai. She's a swordswoman, and that's why she presents herself with the I am also. I still think people find it weird because she's a female, but who wouldn't? You know, in that era, there's not a lot of female samurais, if any at all. I'd have to look up the history in Japan. There may be 1 or 2 that run around, but it was kind of like women pirate. There weren't a lot. And pulling off the gorgeous look, she's got the heights. God, she could rock a sword like our buddy Takezo right here, Miyamoto Musashi. Moving on. The Gazelle's kind of telling Master Hold'em, who we're going to get a little preview kind of we'll see his silhouette. He's saying, you know, the report's good. He's like, I've captured the girl who tamed the baboon, which gives us insight. That's what they're after when they're going after Otama. They know her devil fruit ability is good at taming the wild beasts that roam around Wano, and they're going to try and take advantage of that and utilize it for their all their different crews and divisions. And so, yeah, we get to see Master Hold'em's silhouette. And he's probably got, to me, it looks like a lion devil fruit of some type. And he's like, well done. It should be useful. You're here. And the Okama Gazelle is like, okay, yes, sir. And starts heading on towards them while Luffy and the rest are ensuing on the Kamenu. They roll up past the right in front of the Torre, and it's she kind of just says, you know, we're breaking in. Luffy, everyone, you know, you guys ready? He's like, we're heading straight into the Bakura district, which is probably where all those officials hang out. And It's the government officials in the pirates' territories. So I guess the whole territory is called the Bakura district. It's not just a certain section of it. So yeah, they're running right into the den of it, and God, gotta love this next panel. Luffy and Zoro just look bloodthirsty as all hell. I mean, just look at that. Look at Zoro. His eyes are all shaded, and he just looks so excited to finally, get into some real battles. So right now, he's been cutting down fodder. To Zoro, that's just like picking mushrooms. It's nothing. But Luffy, I love how excited he always is to fight. But God, Zoro looks like creepy. He's like super stoked to go kill some people or something. And Luffy just likes fighting. They both do. They're excited for it. And so yeah, that kind of freaks Okiko out. She's like, "Why are you guys smiling?" And then it's like, God, Luffy, you just got done fighting Katakuri. You're just barely recovering. You're already ready for another fight. So going back to somewhere else completely different, we see a view of a mountainside, and it says, "Captain, it's terrible, Captain." And we get to see Beppo, Penguin, and that other dude. I still can't remember his name. God damn it! What's his name? Heart Pirates. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna be so pissed because I'm gonna see it and I'm like, I should know that. Shachi. Shachi. Yes, Shachi, Penguin, and Beppo. Shachi. Make sure I remember that. Shachi. Say it with me. Shachi. Anyways, tell him to tell Law, who we can tell by his standard way of calling Luffy. He's like, Straw Hat Ya's in Wano? He's like, what's Straw Hat Ya doing here? He always Ya. I don't know what the reason he does that is, but he does it. And they tell him that he's heading to the Bakura district, and Law is just like, oh God damn it, man! As soon as that guy shows up, every damn time he just goes straight into the goddamn beehive den, like the beehive den. Goes straight into the fire. Yeah, we'll put it that way. He's like, wait a second. There's no way he won't cause trouble. This is Straw Hat we're talking about. He's like, and yeah, they're like, that's why we told you. And he's like, all right, we have to go stop those idiots before they cause real issues. And so apparently the Alliance makes a move, and things are gonna start kicking into high gear for a little bit. Unless they stop, I don't know. They gotta save Otama somehow, so maybe they'll find some way to use Law's abilities to do that or something. I think we're going straight back into this next week. I don't think we're getting another view from different sections of Wano for a little bit. I think it's gonna be Zoro and Luffy. Which, hey, man, I'm fine with. I've been enjoying, and you can tell Oda's definitely enjoying showing off Zoro. He's given that it's almost a fan service at this point. It's been 2 years. People are aching for Zoro. We get Law in this chapter, and things are gonna rip off. I think next chapter. I think we're gonna see at least a battle with probably that headliner, Hold'em. I think Hawkins is out for a little bit, and then we're also gonna see a couple more gifters, but we'll probably get some cool information about kind of the government side, the way things are being ran from the pirates and the different officials that work for Orochi. That's what my bet would be. But we'll find out next Thursday. Hopefully I get the chapter review out Friday afternoon, because I work till 7, sadly, on Fridays, and I don't have enough time to clip, review, and upload and do all that stuff for the chapters on Thursday night, or else I would. It usually comes out at almost 12 o'clock here, and it takes me usually anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour to film these. Transfer all the images and all that stuff takes a bit, and I may not even be doing this the fastest way, but the way I've been doing it right now, and then editing, and making the thumbnail. I spend all the time doing that. Other people obviously do the art, like the thumbnail I'm going to present today. Like, other people have done that art, but I take the time to like collage it all together and make the image and make it how I like. But anyways, I appreciate it. People who've been watching and being patient. Thank you. Your viewership is appreciated. Snoop reviews with chapter 914. One Piece done. Yeah, we'll be back with 915 next Thursday. I'll probably be trying to review some more chapters from beginning to end. The chapter overviews I've been doing later this week. But I'm gonna go stream for a couple hours today. So thanks for hanging out. Out.